Hello, I'm Commissioner of Agriculture Steve Troxler, and I'm here today to talk about our plant industry division in the Department of Agriculture. This is one in a series of programs that I'm doing to explain the different divisions in the department. Plant industry has wide-reaching regulatory and consumer protection duties, and we try to keep the crop safe in North Carolina, whether they be in the field or the nursery like we're here today, but also make sure that the consumers are protected at the registers through some of the regulatory things that we do. One of the major functions that plant industry has is trying to keep invasive pests or damaging pests out of our crops in North Carolina, and there is a wide range of these pests, and quite frankly, with the world having shrunk because of transportation, they're coming in about every day, so it's a huge job to do that. And one that comes to mind is gypsy moths. We do treatments for gypsy moths all across the northern part of North Carolina to make sure that we keep these pests from spreading everywhere and be so damaging to our hardwood trees in North Carolina. One of the recent pests that caught a lot of invasive species that caught a lot of attention to the public was the giant Asian hornet. While that hornet was found on the West Coast, we have not seen them in North Carolina, but our phones and our emails were blown up with people interested and thinking they had seen this hornet, but of course we have not seen them here yet, and we hope we never do. But we do have an email site that we maintain for these new pests, and it is newpests@ncagr.gov. On the other side of the coin, we do have a beneficial insect lab outside of Cary that works primarily with our pollinators. Honeybees are so important, and our pollinators are important to all the crops we grow in North Carolina, especially our fruit and vegetable crops. So having healthy pollinators is a major task. We actually do inspections of honeybees, and we have over 5,000 people in North Carolina that do raise honeybees. Another part of the beneficial insect lab that I have been particularly interested in is raising little beetles that actually eat hemlock woolly adaliads that are destroying our hemlocks, especially in the mountains of North Carolina. We've been successful in breeding and releasing these as biological controls, and the program that we started to help protect the hemlocks has now turned into a partnership between plant industry, our state forest service, the National Forest Service, and Western North Carolina communities. So with that partnership, we are doing our best to try to protect as many hemlocks as we possibly can, and we certainly don't want to see them go the way of our American chestnut. So this is a major program that we're proud of and one that is being successful. One of the major functions in the plant industry division is vital to trade, not only in North Carolina, the country, but throughout the world. We work with USDA to issue phytosanitary certificates so that countries will accept our products as we export these to other parts of the world. Some things that come to mind particularly important to North Carolina, one is our sweet potato industry, and with the European Union now requiring phytosanitary certificates on all crops that are exported to them, then the sweet potato industry is vitally important, and we assist with that. Another one is pine logs that we export primarily to Asian countries, and we issue phytosanitary certificates on them in conjunction with our agronomy division doing nematode assays on the pine logs. So they play a huge part of trade, and we're proud to be able to do that and assist North Carolina farmers in marketing these products. How will consumers know if the fertilizer and lime that they purchase, whether they be farmers or gardeners or people that are working in the yard, how will they know that the analysis in the bag is what it's supposed to be? Well, we do have a fertilizer and seed section, and what they do is to make sure that the analysis that's on the bag is what you're buying. So it's very, very important to be able to know that, especially in precision agriculture. And we do that here in downtown Raleigh, and we're proud to be able to provide that service. I want to call in now Phil Wilson, who is the Division Director of Plant Industries, and we're going to stay 6 feet apart so that we're social distance, but he's got a major job. He's got 85 full-time employees across the state of North Carolina that work with a variety of different programs for the consumer and for the people in agriculture and the nursery industry like we see here today. Phil, if you didn't have enough to do, in 2017 we gave you another task, and that is the regulation of the hemp industry in North Carolina. So I want to talk a little bit about that. How many licensed hemp growers and processors do we have in North Carolina now?
Commissioner, currently we're up to about 1,500 licensed growers in the state, and that's scattered from as far west as you can go to as far east as you can go.
Yep. I know one of the hard jobs that you have to do, the federal regulation requires that hemp be under 0.3 THC, and you have to test and regulate that. What does that encompass?
Well, we send our inspectors out. They'll take a sample, get with the grower. We take that sample to a lab, go through the lab just to make sure it is 0.3 or below. When it comes back above the limit, we have to take some actions at that point in time, but that's kind of how it goes. They let us know when they have flowering, and then we can go in and do our sampling. So.
Agriculture and agribusiness is a $92.7 billion industry in North Carolina. And what Plant Industry does is vital to protecting the crops, the consumers, and to keep all of the invasive species of pests out of this state that we possibly can. So I hope you'll join me again for another one of these videos on another division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture.